Hey there everybody, Sabrina here, and welcome to UsSimply. For this week on UsSimply, we are telling stories to you guys, and for my story time, I'm going to be telling you about my experience with the Depo-Provera birth control shot. Quick disclaimer, if you hear a bunch of pitter-patter in the background, I just rescued a dog, and she's circling the room because she's really confused about the big object sitting in front of me and all the really big bright objects around me, so yeah. I wanted to spread awareness about my experience in case anyone is considering Depo-Provera or if anybody has been in my boat. The Depo-Provera birth control shot is a shot that you get every 6 months in your dominant arm to either prevent you from getting your menstrual cycle or to prevent you from getting pregnant. Anywho, I had just returned from my trip in South Korea in time to start my senior year of high school. I had already missed a week, but I had to go to the doctor, see my gynecologist, to get a new form of birth control because I needed it to correct my period, and what I was using beforehand stopped working in the middle of my trip in South Korea. Side note, I've had a pretty tough history with my period. I got it when I was 8, and ever since then it has been a constant battle. So I went to see my gynecologist to see what she recommended for me, and she thought that the Depo-Provera shot was a great idea. She swore that I would have zero issues with it. I even had to sign a waiver that stated if anything happened to me for whatever reason that I would not sue the company. First red flag, I'd like to say that when I had to sign the waiver for it and get the shot, in the time that they're preparing me to get the shot, I had to sign the waiver at the same time, and she said, oh, no worries. It's just saying that you understand that this might have a few side effects, acne, maybe weight gain or weight loss, some headaches, whatever. It's all good. So my mom and I signed the waiver because at the time I was under 18, so I needed my mom to be there to confirm that it's okay for me to do this. And then I got the shot. I was totally fine for the first couple of weeks. I didn't have any symptoms, no side effects, anything. It was totally normal, totally fine, dandy. A couple of weeks later, my face broke out incredibly bad, and I have never had bad acne before in my life. I was so dramatic when I was younger because I would consider terrible acne to be the tiniest dot that no one even noticed. But at the time, I had just changed my skincare routine, and I ate incredibly healthy, and I drank loads of water, so I just decided to wait it out a little bit and see what happened. Say hi. Oh. This is what she does. Lilith, you should tell the story. Oh, okay, it's past your bedtime. It's late. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna try to tell the story with Lilith right here because maybe this'll just calm her down. Right, baby? Right, baby? Okay, there you go. Bye. Then out of nowhere, I started to become very ill. I had intense pains in my spine, my stomach, my pelvic area, everywhere. My entire body began cramping to the point where it was very difficult to walk. And I put up with this for about a week until I finally went to the hospital to see what's going on. After a week at the hospital, spending every single day taking numerous tests and waiting for results that only raised more questions than answers, my family and I started to panic. Then, after a day of my dad spending his time on the internet doing research, he stumbled across multiple forums of women going through exactly what I had, and they found out that it's from the Depo-Provera shot. They had experienced all of the tests, the pain, the anxiety, the stress at different stages during their time on the Depo-Provera shot, whether it's the first couple of weeks to the first couple of years. But we all had signed the waiver, saving the company's butt from drowning in lawsuits. After reading all of this, I went straight back to my gynecologist, and she had no answers to give me besides that I had signed a stupid waiver and there's nothing I can do now. I was terrified, and so was my family. If you just saw how sick I was or how much pain I was in, you would get it. We ended up going back to the hospital, which by this point ended up feeling like my second home, and went to see all the different doctors to get tons of different antibiotics to try to help me out. 8 months later, the pain had finally stopped. I spent 8 months in pain, hurting, sick, terrified, because there's no cure for the side effects that this shot causes. Since then, I have had both bone and muscle issues, particularly in my spine, because the birth control shot actually eats away at your bones. And in case you didn't know, you can't rebuild your bones. I also have quite a bit of scarring from the acne I've had. It's gotten better over the years, but it's still there. If you plan on getting the Depo-Provera shot, I highly recommend not doing so. I will add that there are many people who have been on the Depo-Provera shot for multiple years and have not experienced any symptoms or very little symptoms. But the chances of you experiencing what I and many other women have gone through is just not worth the risk. Don't get me wrong, every birth control has their side effects, but this one is just too much. Getting that shot was hands down the worst decision I have ever made in my life, but no signs popped up until it was extremely too late. That is it for my story time. I hope you found this to be educational, even in the slightest bit. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up, comment down below with any thoughts that you have, and subscribe to see me and my friends each week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Bye!